LA This Week.
The LA City Fire Department has started inspections for marijuana businesses, and it has a lot of work ahead of them. I'm Gil Reyes with more on how you too can help keep neighborhoods safe.
African American movers and shakers honored for decades of public service. Among them, City Council President Herb Wesson, who has good news for small businesses. That's coming up.
59 years later, and this business is still going strong. I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, the secret to their sweet success.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Is the cannabis business in your neighborhood operating safely? The LA City Fire Department is conducting inspections to make sure they're not a threat to you or your neighborhood. Gil Reyes has more from City Hall.
The LA City Fire Department is trying to avoid this, a fiery butane explosion at a medical marijuana dispensary in New Mexico. Officials say careless use of a hairdryer to enhance the cannabis triggered the blast, severely burning 2 people. LA fire officials say they're spotting other red flags locally.
Unpermitted building construction going on, they're not fire code compliant, and a lot of it's because they simply haven't entered into any sort of regulatory framework to know what the procedures are.
On this first full year of legal recreational cannabis in California, LAFD officials are visiting businesses to see if they're in compliance.
We're looking at the hazardous materials they have on site and making sure they disclose those materials to the state. And what that does, it helps firefighters before they turn up on scene know what they're dealing with before they get there.
Butane honey oil extraction of cannabis, though popular, is a felony in California. Other dangers at grow operations include dumping hazardous materials down drains, overloading electrical sockets, and placing high-voltage wires atop buildings. This practice could spark fires and put firefighters at even greater risk during response. The public is urged to report these things.
As the Department of Cannabis Regulation gets further in their process, they're going to have neighborhood liaisons established that will also facilitate any kind of complaints that residents might have.
So the golden rule in this case is if you see or smell something suspicious, tell someone. Dial the number on your screen, 311, your one call to City Hall. At City Hall, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Around 30 city fire inspections have taken place so far. The fee is around $900. All marijuana businesses must also have state and city licenses to operate legally. Well, not in my neighborhood. That's the response many residents have to housing the homeless. But city leaders say it's time for every neighborhood to shoulder the burden. Anna Marcos brings us more from the grand opening of the new Genesis apartments.
City leaders hope to make these scenes in Skid Row a thing of the past. How? By making every council district in LA contribute their share to housing the homeless.
Homelessness in Los Angeles has reached a crisis point, and no single district can solve it alone.
Today, we have concentrated homeless services in certain parts of the city, such as downtown LA, Skid Row, Hollywood, Venice. Now we're saying we're going to spread these out and build them in areas where we historically haven't built housing.
The grand opening of the new Genesis Apartments, a supportive housing project, made the perfect backdrop as city leaders announced their Resolution 222. All 15 council districts in LA must pledge to build 222 units of supportive housing each over the next 3 years, for a total of more than 3,000 new units.
We cannot solve this problem by building all of the supportive housing in Mr. Harris Dawson's district or mine or Miss Martinez. We have to build this housing everywhere.
This is an either-or situation. We either have encampments or we have housing.
One resident's life story shows what supportive housing like the new Genesis Apartments can do.
I worked 3 jobs. I had my own apartment. I had my cars. I was going to school. I had my boyfriend, and I was about to be a mother. But then I lost my baby. My mother passed away. But after becoming homeless, I started using drugs, and I saw the darkness that it could lead to. This place gave me a new beginning. It gave me strength. It gave me hope.
We have in these offices on-site case management, peer support, substance use recovery, and various programs like nutritional classes that we offer in our kitchen.
The new Genesis apartments now house 106 formerly homeless residents. And if city leaders' new resolution gets approved in City Council, more of these will be going up in every corner of LA. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The United Way of Greater Los Angeles will partner with the city to help educate neighborhood residents. The new units, by the way, will be built with Measure HHH funds. The senseless murder of a beloved gay man outraged the LGBTQ community, but it also led to service improvements in Northeast LA. As Gil Reyes reports, a new public square is dedicated, so people will never forget.
Bobby Brown, your death was not in vain, oh no.
The community of Highland Park honors Bobby Brown, a young gay man shot to death at 41st and Figueroa back in 1983. His sister Ruth will never get over it.
Bobby was loved by his family and is still loved and will never be forgotten.
The city has renamed the intersection Bobby Brown Uptown Gay and Lesbian Alliance Square. The Uptown Gay and Lesbian Alliance, or UGLA, was created in response to the tragedy, offering support services for gays and lesbians in Northeast LA.
No longer will the LGBTQ community be in the shadows, and no longer will they be without a voice, no longer will they be without a place.
Northeast LA Councilman Gilbert Cedillo remembers what happened that terrible night 35 years ago. Brown had actually been assaulted earlier in the evening by two men. He reported the assault to the LAPD, but community members say police failed to follow up properly. 2 hours later, one of the men reappeared and shot Brown as he was walking out of the Bon Mott, a popular gay bar. He was just 24 years old. Since then, the LAPD has recruited more openly gay officers and has reached out to the LGBTQ community to better address their needs.
And my brother is smiling down on this day. Bobby knows, as we do, that something positive, such as UGLA and the changes within the LAPD, have come from something so tragic.
In Highland Park, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
After spending years behind bars, the shooter, Thomas Adam Caputo, has been granted parole. The LAPD is asking the state parole board to reconsider. Well, from Crenshaw to LAX, the sky's the limit for champions of big development. As Gil Reyes reports, they received a special honor for African American Heritage Month.
Los Angeles is moving up, way up. During February's Black History Month, we shine a light on African American movers and shakers behind LA's building boom.
People in my business, we really appreciate when we receive acknowledgments from the folk that we represent. So I'm just blown away.
LA's first African American City Council President, Herb Wesson, receives this year's Leadership Award at the Upgrade LA event in downtown. Wesson is praised for championing construction of the Midtown Crossing. That's a big urban retail space on Pico Boulevard. He also pushed for last year's completion of the Kaiser Permanente Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Medical offices and continues to back renovations at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. All of this has created jobs.
He's been a champion for development, but most importantly, he's been a champion to make sure small and minority businesses are participating in this growth and development.
Kerman Maddox and his marketing firm Dakota Communications host the awards. The firm supports renovations at LAX, where a good chunk of contracts have gone to small and minority-owned businesses. Also honored is LA World Airport's Chief Development Director, Bob Gilbert. He overcame poverty and discrimination to help lead LAX's multi-billion-dollar expansion.
I thank God for his guidance. Help me and my brother to move above the negativism.
And with Council President Herb Wesson's term expiring in the year 2020, somebody posed an interesting question, and that is, what does the future hold for him? Running for mayor, running for governor? He answered it this way.
Let me make this crystal clear. I ain't done.
In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
This was Upgrade LA's third annual awards event. A small business that has made a large impact continues to be a hotspot for many in Los Angeles. Rasha Goel has more on a local bakery that has not only stood the test of time, but has also satisfied the neighborhood's sweet tooth.
Nearly 60 years ago, Harry Patterson and his wife founded a business that has now become the largest manufacturer of sweet potato pies on the West Coast. The 27th Street Bakery, originally a restaurant that was converted into a specialty bakery, has become a household name in the LA area.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The family business has continued for 3 generations and is co-owned by Jeanette Pickens and Denise Craven Pascal, the granddaughters. Marvin Brown, production manager and first cousin who grew up working in the business, says in addition to the homemade taste, the secret to their success has been
Harry consistent on, not cutting corners with ingredients because it's the quality and consistency of the taste. And so we've done that so far and it's proven successful. So we haven't changed it. The customers usually tell us, hey, that taste, it stays the same year in, year out.
What's fascinating is 500 small pies and 500 large pies are outputted 5 days a week. Now that's a lot of pies. And they are not only available to community members and residents, but they are also sold at retail stores. And the big question, so what exactly makes these pies so popular?
Your eggs, milk, butter, and some secret ingredients.
What also makes this bakery unique is it has become a place where people can feel a sense of community and unity.
Younger kids seeing the business here and seeing our children grow up here, working here during the summer. Our workers, their kids also come during the holidays and they pitch in. And so the community sees that togetherness.
Like other businesses with ups and downs, this bakery felt an impact during the 1992 LA riots. And with the city's help, they were able to rebuild.
We wasn't burnt out or anything of that nature, but still the damage for us outside stopped traffic from coming in to purchase or to do business for 2 weeks or so, you see? So everything was shut down during that time.
Today, when you walk through 27th Street Bakery, you can still feel the past reflected in the present, not only through the pies, but the memories of an African-American couple that are kept alive on the wall. Just a small taste of a lasting legacy. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
27th Street Bakery's pies can be found at some of your local grocery stores. They also deliver throughout the region. A subway from downtown Los Angeles to UCLA could greatly serve students who don't own cars. That's just one of the expected benefits of Purple Line extension. As Gil Reyes reports, the drive is on to finish the subway before the 2028 Olympics.
Go west, young man. West like the Purple Line. Metro is adding 9 miles from the subway's current terminus in Koreatown to the Miracle Mile, through Beverly Hills, past UCLA, and finally ending at the VA hospital in Westwood. It's expected to serve a lot of people.
Veterans who need their health care, students who don't have cars, folks who want to make sure they can go take that job in Westwood even if they live in Koreatown or someplace else. People who are stuck in traffic today need that relief as well. And of course, to ferry the world-class athletes that will be at the Olympic Village at UCLA.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti and other officials break ground on the Purple Line's latest phase, Section 2, from Beverly Hills to Century City. This roughly 2.5-mile portion will stop at the popular Rodeo Drive shopping district. It's expected to open in 2025.
We're really excited that this will be stopping in Beverly Hills because Beverly Hills on Rodeo Drive, we too are trying to have a new vision.
Construction on Section 1 continues with 3 new stops on Wilshire Plan. Stops at La Brea, Fairfax, and La Cienega.
We can't move the Purple Line here fast enough. Let's make it happen.
Finally, work on Section 3 is expected to begin in the spring. Metro is trying to secure federal funds to get this final leg to Westwood done.
And ladies and gentlemen, wouldn't it all be nice if we could take a ride on this new system in 2028 to the Olympics? Yes. Mr. Mayor, we are counting on you. Thank you.
The entire 9-mile extension is expected to be finished in 2026, 2 years before the Olympics arrive in Los Angeles. Along the path of the Purple Line extension, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The first 2 phases are paid for by Measure R, the last phase by Measure M, which voters passed in 2016. While the City of Angels recently honored films that were created in Hollywood in the past year, in an effort to help keep productions in LA, where the motion picture business was born. This award recognizes and congratulates those teams for producing work locally. Rasha Goel has more.
You may have seen these movies in the theaters, but did you know these films were also produced in California? Oscar-nominated films Lady Bird, Coco, and The Boss Baby were recently recognized at LA City Council for winning the 7th annual Made in Hollywood honor, which recognizes TV shows and films made in California.
There's simply no substitute for filming in Hollywood and in Los Angeles and in California. In addition to benefiting from the best talent, production infrastructure, locations, and weather, California-based projects also create quality middle-class jobs. They strengthen our state's economy and help preserve our signature industry.
Councilman Mitch O'Farrell, who came to Los Angeles to work in the industry but ended up serving it in a different capacity, knows the importance of keeping productions in Hollywood.
It's kind of the next best thing to being a successful actor. I get to be in the political arena helping this industry along, and that is a privilege I never expected, but it's just as good as the real thing.
Darla K. Anderson, producer of Coco, says why it means everything to be able to work in L.A. Her film had nearly 500 people working this project.
I was born and I was raised here, and so it means everything to be able to work and live in the same place. You can come home to your family, you have a lot of stability, you can create community.
Producer Ramsey Naito of The Boss Baby says it's great to be able to come home to her family as well.
We started Boss Baby in California and we finished Boss Baby in California, and that's a great feat.
Film LA recently reported that on-location filming in LA achieved its second best year on record in 2017. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Since the Made in Hollywood honors were established in 2011, 5 of its honorees have gone on to win Best Picture or Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. While some of LA's wisest whiz kids battle it out for Science Bowl supremacy, Gil Reyes reports from the 25th annual STEM competition, where the heavy favorites won again this year.
A3. X. That's correct.
The LADWP's Science Bowl Championship pits teams from local schools in a buzzer-style quiz show-like competition in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math. North Hollywood High School's A and B teams have dominated the contest for years. So what's their secret?
I think it's a combination of a lot of time. We meet for a really long time, 2 times a week, and a lot of practice and competitiveness within the team. So although we are really supportive of each other, we're also constantly competing with each other to be better players, and I think those 3 things are what do it for us.
We have 50 teams competing from 29 high schools in the area of the Los Angeles Unified School District. We have LA Unified Schools, charter schools, and private parochial schools participating.
With thousands of dollars in prize money at stake, there's also a hands-on competition to determine the fastest self-propelled boats. The DWP hopes many of these students end up working for the agency someday.
This year we did exceptionally well. It's the farthest we've ever gone in school history participating in Science Bowl. And every year we come, we learn a lot at the competition itself. It's very exciting to interact with other teams.
I think that it builds a teamwork, it builds their character, it gives them opportunity to work hard, to reach their potential.
we're not just doing it to look good on our resumes. We actually all really love the activity, and I think that's why it matters for us a lot.
Reporting from DWP headquarters, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Congratulations go out to North Hollywood's A-Team. They've now won the contest 19 out of the last 21 years. They're headed to Washington, D.C. for an all-expenses-paid trip to the national championships in April. While the city wants you to join the LAPD, the Japanese American community recognizes a historical moment in their history, and commuters at Union Station get a taste of Mardi Gras. All these stories in Citybeat. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti unveiled a social media campaign to highlight diversity in the Los Angeles Police Department and to encourage more Angelenos to consider careers in the LAPD. The LAPD campaign, a collaboration between the Mayor's Innovation Team, the Los Angeles Police Department, and the City of Los Angeles Personnel Department, features the stories of officers who exemplify the department's commitment to diversity. It also includes information about the LAPD application and recruitment process and highlights the broad range of career paths at the LAPD. For more information on the LAPD campaign, visit joinlapd.com/RLAPD. The Japanese American National Museum presented the 2018 Day of Remembrance, commemorating the 30th anniversary of the signing of the Civil Liberties Act of 1988. Legislation that provided a formal apology from the U.S. government and monetary reparations to survivors of the forced evacuation and mass incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II. Years in the making, this landmark legislation went a long way toward providing vindication and closure for the Japanese American community. Over 82,000 survivors received the president's apology and the token monetary compensation. It was one big party at Union Station as Metro Art presented the Mudbug Brass Band in a Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday parade. The band made its way through Union Station entertaining the crowds. It's all part of Union Station's Metro Art program, which puts on various art and music events throughout the year. One Mardi Gras fan came from Burbank specifically to hear the band.
This is great. It's people, it's LA, it's getting together, it's celebration. I love it.
LA Dodgers and local kids stretched their creative muscles to write a children's book. Gil Reyes reports on a different type of literary exercise.
Now coming out of the bullpen, relief from the same old writing assignments at school.
You know, this is a fun week where we get to interact with the community a lot, and me and Alex Wood came here and just wanted to have a good time with these kids.
Dodgers pitchers Ross Stripling, Alex Wood, and their wives help children write a book, brainstorming, illustrating, and jotting down parts of it at 826LA. That's a nonprofit offering creative writing field trips.
Us getting to use our creative side, too, was really fun, so we kind of came up with brainstormed some ideas and came up with a cool little short story that we helped get them started on.
Their fairy tale, Elizabeth the Magical Unicorn and the Zombie Apocalypse, all takes place behind Dodger Stadium. The students from Para Los Niños School are from the area. The Dodgers organization says it participated to be good neighbors.
Dodger Stadium is about 3 miles from here, and it's not just the fans that sit in the stadium that we love and show our support for, but it's our community.
A team effort to encourage an early love for reading and writing. At 826LA, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
As part of the Dodgers community tour, the athletes later met with first responders from the recent wildfires. The pitchers took photos, signed autographs, and gave a tour of Dodger Stadium. Well, join the race for the cure, attend a Women's Day celebration that benefits young ladies, and do you have what it takes to become a firefighter? Find out in an LAFD Career Expo. All this in this week's Things to Do. Join the movement and join the race to fight breast cancer by fundraising for Race for the Cure. Your fundraising has the power to make a true impact. Race for the Cure has raised more than $2 billion to help fund research, education, screening, and treatment. The money raised helps fund discoveries in genetics and biology, which has led to personalized, less invasive breast cancer treatments to replace the less effective one-treatment-fits-all approach. Race for the Cure is your opportunity to turn your support for the breast cancer movement into action. The race takes place on March 10th at Dodger Stadium. For more, visit info-komen.org. Viva la Muxer is an annual International Women's Day celebration, an all-women art and music festival, and a benefit event for Las Fotos Project. This year's event features 150 visual artists, live music, DJs, bands, singers, spoken word performances, live painting, and dancing. The theme is Boss Lady, and it's honoring the entrepreneurial spirit of women in LA and around the globe. 100% of the proceeds will support Las Fotos Project, a nonprofit organization and brave space for teenage girls to collaborate, learn, and inspire. The benefit event takes place March 10th from 6 to 10 p.m. at Plaza de la Raza. The Los Angeles Fire Department is hiring. Learn about the broad range of career opportunities that LAFD offers. Try on equipment, learn about job recruitments, and talk to experienced firefighters and paramedics. The Career Expo takes place Saturday, March 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Frank Hodgkin Memorial Training Center. For more, visit joinlafd.org. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybee.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.